You know, a lot of people don't. The people in this is also, but the people in northeast states, in Vermont, for example, do not want to transfer. They'll stay with their folks. They'll stay with the folks if there's not enough money staying where they are. So they won't get promotions if they don't move. So they say, "God, I don't get promotion. Fine, I stay with my uncle or something." And so if you're ambitious at all, you want to go wherever you're asked to go, and this was a case of asking if I wanted to go to Baton Rouge, and be the representative for the federal government. I was not the construction engineer. I was not that. I was but you see what is going on, and does it conform with you get a separate piece of literature that has to do with the project like that, and it might not conform with what you think or anything. So I mentioned it one time that this was a case of this incident was a case of I would go over there watching them. They were spraying these girders, and the specifications clearly said they will be hand painted. At the end, the person who wrote the specifications is a believer in hand painting and not spraying. And so I went over there, and they were spraying away over there. And I went back to the office and told them about that. And they said, you have to change that. You have to change that right now. And he said, I didn't know that was in the specs, which was a ball face lie as far as I was concerned. And they said, we'll do that, we'll change that. But that's what I was on the I just visit them maybe once a week. I'd visit them. But I had a number of other small bridges in the state to visit at the same time that they were building up.
What was the impact on your family life and your personal life and the direction that your life took of the decision to move to Louisiana?
We didn't know a whole lot about Louisiana. I did know that they did not have the problems in religion that the others, the two states east of us were having with whatever it was. I forget what it was, but I knew that Louisiana was an open type of. There were broad-minded people in Louisiana, and so. I didn't know that much about it, and I said, well, it can't be all bad to go down there, and so I wanted to do that, and the children. I never got an objection from anybody. Life in New York. We went from New York. Was winters were difficult, and they knew that, so they got down south. It didn't take them long to Margaret came up to me one day and said, we all decided we want to stay down here. So they did. They all stayed down here from New York. They spread from Florida to New York, from Florida to Texas. And so then I saw no reason that I should be staying up in New York when the family's all down south. So I did transfer down south, and I came to like it very much here. That's the last one. That's true. That is the last one with the clearance on it and the
And
depth.
you walked across
The
that
depth.
bridge, I understand?
Yes, it did. I can't tell you. Then I'll have to guess again as to what the height of it's a lot. It's very high up off the water, and then an extra 40 or 50 feet of superstructure or something else. So then I had the desire to walk across there just for the fun of it. And when it came time toward the end of the construction, I decided to do that, to walk across there. There was a ladder, there were steps climbing up to it, and when you get up to the top of it, there was a cable, about 3 or 4 feet off the top girder, and so you can hold on to that. But it's a good thing that it was there because the wind is pretty strong. When you get the wind comes down the river, and it's strong all the time. You get up. When you get up that high, it's strong. So I did. I walked across that. I told him that I wanted to check the painting. I wanted to know if it was well covered and so forth. I went up there. And I walked across and I went down the other side, down the other end of it. It's a Mississippi River bridge. This is a long bridge.
You crossed over it on one side and then came back and crossed over it again on the other?
I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing
Walked across the top of the tower.
What?
You just walked across the top of the tower.
I just walked across the top one time, from one end down to the other end and down, as far as I remember. And that was enough.
What was reaction when you heard
That was enough. So then I told Norma about it when I got back there, because I knew darn well she would object to it, and so I thought it was safe, and so I did. Her reaction, she didn't take it too favorably. She just didn't, but she didn't complain about it too much. It was all over with. Pretty quick. She was a good sport, and she couldn't do anything about it if it had been done. Everybody knows that these routes are constructed by with federal money, and so my life has always been in relation to those because federal government I would deal with federal government construction, and so they picked the larger bridges down. Sometimes you can get some low bridges too, but I mean the outstanding ones are always large and big. So I enjoyed the life that I could have by being responsible for watching the construction of the bridges and see to it that the specifications were being handled. That was my job, and so I wanted to do that, and I did it. None of my bridges have fallen down. There's one with the Mississippi River. I really felt my responsibility was from where you can get on the bridge. I don't mean the approaches to it. I mean on top of the bridge. My responsibility was from one end of the bridge to the other end. But forever they had problems with traffic on either end of that bridge. It was not one end just goes right into town. The end of the bridge goes right into town. Well, good. You've got to have some very sharp turns to get down out of there. So I had nothing to do with the design of that part of the bridge.
What was your experience in Costa Rica like?
We got a good impression. We got a very good impression of Costa Rica. We were down there. We were down on the lower ledge. See, Costa Rica, the town of Costa Rica, the town of whatever it is, the state capital.
San Jose.
Pardon?
San Jose.
Yeah, San Jose is up the upper part of that, which is about halfway through it, and the climate is fine. But when we were down there, working at the lower part, the weather was hot and sticky, and but we did get extra pay. That's the part I like. We got a bonus for climate for poor climate, and they did very good work. I had to learn some Spanish, but we got along we got along pretty good. I liked the people in
Did you speak
Costa
the
Rica.
language when you were in Costa Rica?
Pardon?
Did you speak the language in Costa Rica?
Well, I was studying Spanish when I was down there so that I could talk to them. And my feeling was that the construction people don't have a big vocabulary, and so I did not have a big vocabulary. So you talked rough things. So I could make it. I could make it with them.
Now, you had a child that was born in Costa Rica.
We did have one
Tell us
born
about
in
that.
Costa Rica. We named her Carol Ruth. It stands for C and the R. So we would never forget. That was my statement. But so we looked for a C and an R, and that was fun. And she was born, and it didn't hurt her a bit. It was a good experience. It was a very good experience.